Hi, it's Diane with So Charming Quilts, and I just wanted to show you some of the assembly parts to this March block that we're making. It is the Harvest Quilt. It is the Robert Kaufman Kona Cotton Quilt, and it is designed by Elise Lee. I did, however, find that I changed just a slight measurement in the directions. I am using a 6.5-inch base for my flying geese, and I am pairing that with a 3 5/8 inch square when I construct my flying geese. So in the last video I showed you, I had all of my pieces marked. I've drawn a 1/4 inch from the center, and I've sewn on my diagonal. Today I'm going to just give it a light press before I take it over to my cutting station. I also took all my half square triangles, and I did the same. I drew a line 1/4 inch from the center, and I'm going to press those lightly before I take them over and cut them. I chain pieced all my pieces so that I could quickly move through them all. Now that I've got them lightly ironed, I'm going to show you some of the different cuts and the different things that I'm going to do with my pieces. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my half square triangle, and I'm going to cut it in half so that I have two pieces. And then I'm going to take it over to my iron, and I'm going to iron those to the dark side. I'm going to press one side to the dark side. So let me do that for you real quick. And then when I trim my half square triangles, I'm going to take my ruler, and I'm going to use the 45-degree angle on my ruler, and I'm going to line that 45-degree angle up with my square. And I want to be able to trim on all four sides. There's not a lot of room to trim, but there is enough that I should be able to get a clean cut on all four sides. So I'm going to line that 45-degree line up, cut the side and the top, and then I'm going to turn it, and again I'm going to line that up. I'm squaring them to 3-inch squares. And there is my square. My block consists of 16 half square triangles. So I have a whole pile here that I will trim up in a few minutes and use those to construct part of my block. Now, again, I talked about the flying geese. I use a little bit different measurement than the pattern called for. This is my 6.5-inch base, and then I use the squares that are 3 5/8 inch. I drew a 1/4 inch line from my center, and I stitched down both of those. Gave it a light press. And I'm going to take and cut that in half. So that I have two pieces. I'm going to take those to the iron. And I just want to press those up so that it actually almost looks like a heart. Then I'll take it back to the machine. I've taken my next piece. You're going to draw lines again 1/4 inch from the center. You're going to draw that last piece on, and this is how you get 2 out of this piece and 2 out of the other one, which results in 4 flying geese at a time. So if I trim this, here are my 2 flying geese, and then I've got 2 that I'm going to show you how to trim. Now I'm using a ruler. It is the Ultimate Flying Geese ruler. I like this ruler because it helps me to trim my flying geese up. I also like that little bit of extra so that I know that I get perfect flying geese. We did a video on YouTube. You can see us making some flying geese and making some different sizes and talking about that. So I'm just going to line my ruler up. All of the measurements and cut lines are on my ruler. And then I'll go back, I'll trim all of them, but here is one of my flying geese. It consists of 8 flying geese in the pattern. This is one color combination, and then we have a second color combination. Again, with my half square triangles, we have one color combination, and then we also have what will be a second color combination. I showed you last time in my video, and I'm going to show you again real quick. Once I have those pieces all trimmed and all squared up, I'm going to move my camera over. You can see how I've laid out my pieces. I start with a half square triangle, and then there is a rectangle. I have another half square triangle, the solid block, another solid block. And I will just go through and I will chain piece all of these together. It's the way you turn the blocks, refer to your pattern as far as how they are laid out. Once I have these blocks, then I go through, and again, I think last time I showed you, here are my flying geese. These make up part of the block. So this is my center. This is, these are the pieces that I will use to sew together so that it will result in my block. Again, here is my finished block. And you can see here are my 4 parts with my flying geese. Here are my 4 blocks using all of my half square triangles. We did find, and I'm going to show you the back real quick, we found that pressing seams open really helped with the construction of the block, helped it lay flat. I just took my time and sewed very carefully when I was putting my rows together, but we did find that if you press your seams open, that your blocks will lay much flatter, and that will help when we actually go to quilt our quilt. I hope that you'll join us for our March quilt. Again, it is Harvest. It is the Kona Cotton Calendar Quilt by Elise Lee for March, and it uses 26 Kona cotton colors. We have kits available in our studio. I hope you'll join me next time, and I will I'll show you how my rows look once I've put them together. Thanks for joining us.